Hi guys, Diplomat here, and I've got another battle from Cup of Nations. This time I'm taking Baktria, and I'm up against Zeal Xanthopus. I think it's Xanthopus. He changed his name to Light Coloured Horse, but he's Pontus anyway. So this is a group stage game. I think this is the last battle that I played in the group stage. So 8 players from each group go through. This is quite important because we're on similar points. And this secures a place in the second group stage, where there's 4 players in each group. So I'll go over the builds. Sorry. I've got 2 Scythian Horse Archers, 2 Eastern Spears, 6 Thorax Swords, 2 Eastern Slingers, 5 Noble Horse, and a Bactrian Rearguard General. On his side he's got 2 Scythian Horse Archers as well. He's got a Thuria Spear on each flank, so 2 altogether. In the centre he's got 4 Bronze Shield Pikes, 4 Eastern Slingers and 4 Mercenary Celtic Warriors. And he's got a Noble Blood and a Cappadocian Cav and another Cappadocian Cav. So I'm just going in for the skirmish early on, getting good shots on these units. And then he's also got a Pontic Royal Cavalry General. So I've got 5 melee Cav and he's got 4. So I have the Cav advantage. He's going to have to use these Thuria Spears really well if he wants to kill my Cav. In the infantry, he's got these Bronze Shield Pikemen, which are really strong. However, they're very inflexible, and it's quite strange that he's putting his Celtic Warriors right next to the Bronze Shield Pikes, because that's exposing his flanks quite a lot. Really, these flanks are weak to the Thorax Swords, so he's going to need to play very carefully. So he's just baiting the shots here with his Scythian Horse Archers. And again, the skirmishing is going back and forth. Neither of us have an advantage, so there's not really going to be much happening. You're kind of forced to bring Horse Archers in these engagements though, because if he has Horse Archers and you don't, he has a big mobility advantage and can get behind you pretty easily, cause you trouble later on. So now the 2 centre lines are meeting up. I'm just advancing, and I noticed that his cavalry is far away from the centre, so I'm going to try and capitalise on this early on. I'm bringing my general to the flank, so he can help tip the balance against the Thuria Spears and the Cappadocian Cav. Just baiting some fire with the Eastern Spears, and now he's started firing with his skirmishers. I'm just going to focus fire on his infantry, try and get as much damage done. Yeah, just screening off with the Eastern Spears, so he can't really move the pike line. And I'm just faking a charge here, so he has to go into phalanx. This is going to make these even more immobile. I'm coming in for a charge on the flank. Coming in with the Thorax Swords. He has very little infantry over here, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm doing the same on this flank and the centre. So he's got pressure on all areas, he can't really adjust. Going to get a nice charge on the Thuria Spears. Not really getting many kills though. He's quite slow to react with his cavalry. If I was him, I'd try and take 1 cavalry round at this point. I've got another charge into his Celtic Warriors here, but he's backing up with his general, which is good. Although the Thorax Swords are going to take that battle. On this side, I've got a really good charge off of the Noble Horse. I've got more cav which can just flank around. I did get a charge into the pikemen, but it didn't do much. I've got big numbers advantage on the flank, and he's got all these units in the centre, not really doing anything. The general's winning that engagement. His Bactrian Noble Horse have lost a lot. Over here the Thorax Swordsmen are winning. Thuria Spears are going down, although the Cappadocians haven't lost anyone yet. I've still got 1 more unit, and I've still got the Horse Archers, which have taken quite a lot of damage. He's pulled out with his general here, which is a good move. So I've really lost a cav there for no reason. Although he's just lost a Celtic Warrior. But this pike line, again, it's just sitting there, not doing much. He's trying to move with the Bronze Shield Pikes over here. Hasn't achieved anything. He's going to take out the Eastern Spearmen, not going to make too much of a difference. Managed to rout one of my cav units over here. However, he's going to lose that engagement against the Royal Guard and the Thorax Swords. Got another 3 unit of swords over there and 2 in the centre. This cav unit's going to come round now. I've broken his Thorax Swords. His Cappadocians are taking a bit of damage. I managed to engage this noble blood cavalry with my noble horse. So the noble blood are going to go down. And now I'm chasing the general with my eastern spearmen. I don't think he's noticed this, so Jen's going to take some unnecessary damage there. I've got 7 people in this unit yet left, so I'm just going to go into the slingers, cause a bit of trouble. And that's distracting his Cappadocian cav, which lets me clean up in the engagement here. Thurios are going to die as well as the Celtic warriors. These pikemen are being annoying. I keep having to run away with my thorax swords and they're getting shot at all the time by the Scythian horse archer. In the centre, I've taken the engagement, the Celtic warrior, and he's backing up with the pikemen, but they're not really engaged properly. And he's managed to engage my thorax swordsman here in the centre as well. He's just losing one of his slingers, and now he's got 3 units of slingers left, but they're kind of exposed over here, and there's a really good gap for my noble horse to attack. His Cappadocian cav is charged into my thorax swords. I've got noble horse to back up, so I'm going to win this engagement. Here I'm going to get a rear charge. Decided not to go for these guys as they're not really doing much. It'd be a lot more beneficial to take out these pikemen. They've got good armour, so there's not too much damage done, but they're going to start dropping and losing the engagement. Now I spotted that and he's coming for a rear charge on my cavalry with the Cappadocians. I get a counter charge. Now the pikemen are down to 70 men. I should win this engagement really. And I'm going to fire on the cav because if I get the cav off the field, they have a big mobility advantage. He's only got this bit of a general left, 22 men. Whereas I've still got some noble horse on the flanks. Cappadocians are slowly dying. Now I've lost the thorax swords in the centre to the pikemen. On the flank I've got my general here, but he's been shot at from eastern slingers and also the Scythian horse archers. So in a bit of a tricky position over there. And I'm trying to chase him with a thorax swordsman over here. Although this unit's managed to disengage and get into the general, which is really good. He's only got 16 men left. I've broken this Celtic warrior over here. And now I've got to run away from the bronze shield pikes. General was forced to charge into my other unit. Only 10 men left. He's going to die in a minute. And that's going to be a big blow to his side. So the cavs are out in. And now there's not really any cavalry left on the Pontus side. Now the general's died. So all these units have taken a big morale penalty. He's still got the skirmish advantage. He's managed to rout one of my slingers, almost. But as long as I can get my cav into his skirmishers, the game's mine. So over here, I engaged from one side with my general and then came in for a rear charge with the thorax swords. And these pikes are going to die. Horse archers are really annoying, but they shouldn't be able to do too much damage. Finally getting into the slingers with a noble horse. On this side he's got 1 unit of pikemen left, but I've got a lot more infantry so I can surround them and take them out. Again, he's trying to chase down the thorax swordsman here, but he won't be able to do too much with the pikemen. He's charged in with his Scythian horse archers. I think he's almost given up at this point. So yeah, the big factor was the flanks, and I managed to have some really good infantry support on the flanks. Well, a lot of his infantry was idle in the centre. He spent a lot of money on these pikemen, and they weren't really able to engage. It's really hard to make them pay off. If you're going to spend so much on an infantry unit, they need to have a big impact on the game, because these guys didn't really get many kills. 46 kills, and they didn't even distract my other units. If they'd managed to at least just hold up some of my more expensive units, they might have been worth it. But they just didn't do anything. I was able to just walk around them really easily. Running away with the slingers over here. He's just got a Scythian horse archer which he's charging into my slingers. But they're going to get caught out with a noble horse. I've surrounded this unit here. The pikemen have got good morale, but I will be able to break them. He's taken out one of my units and now he's coming in from the other side with the other unit of pikemen. I'm just chasing off the slingers to make sure they can't turn around and shoot. Managed to catch up with the horse archers, and these guys are routing now. Although they've done really well, 111 kills. And at this point he's managed to turn around and he managed to sandwich my thorax swordsman, so I'm going to lose that little engagement. And fast forward it now. So yeah, I'm still chasing the slingers. If I just sat there I'd be able to get some good shots off. So he's still got 2 pretty strong infantry units left. I'm going to use my cavalry to chase down the slingers because they're a lot more effective against slingers than head on against pikemen. I've still got one slinger unit left, but I don't think it's got any ammo. So somehow I managed to catch these guys. They were going to rout. I popped second wind on my cavalry so they're faster and they'll be able to catch up the slingers. They're going to rout. So now he's only got 2 units left. He's just going to have to sit there, make a little box and hope for the best. I'm moving all my units in at this point. I'm going to get a surround on him, make sure I can come in from all angles. Again, he tried to take an engagement against my general, so just going to pull back until I've got support in the area. Again, I'm getting in from all sides, because if I get a flank charge it's going to be a lot more effective than getting a frontal charge. And now I go in at this point from all points. I'm waiting with my cav, I don't want to charge them straight on against a wall of spears. So this unit's going down. And I noticed that they've turned round, so I'm going to get a charge at this point. Does a little bit of damage. And they're completely surrounded at this point. You see them, a valiant last stand, but they're going to die. And the final rear charge from the cavalry to finish it off. And that's the end of the game. So even though I deployed less men, I got more kills, so I managed to win. A lot of people think in Rome 2 you just spam cheap units, and a lot of the time that's good, but in certain tournaments with certain rule sets it can be beneficial just to take a few less units and take better quality ones. So a noble horse, most of them didn't do well, but this one unit just made up for it. 275 kills is pretty incredible, 3 XP. My general did really well because he had no good infantry really to compete with my general. My swordsman did pretty well across the board as well. My slingers did really well. My horse archers, they didn't do too well. I think I kind of neglected them while I was microing other units. On his side, his general did well. His horse archers did a lot better than mine. But the cavalry was disappointing. Slingers were okay. A couple of the pikes got good kills, but they were mostly against cheaper units. And 2 of them didn't do well at all. And considering that that's most of his money, that's really not worth it. The Thuria spears, they were a complete waste. They didn't really achieve anything. I would have much rather gone with some cheat spears.